Welcome, everyone, to another edition of Stepping Up to the Plate. I'm your host, Michael Vega. So glad you could join us for another half hour of scintillating sports talk here in Milton. And can you feel it, that fall snap in the air?
Today.
Football season is here, obviously. We're in the midst of it, and so much to be excited about. First and foremost, let's give a shout out to the Milton High Wildcats for improving to 4-0 on the season and climbing the Globe Top 20 poll to number 10. Your 4-0 Milton Wildcats are now number 10 in the Globe Top 20 poll, coming on the heels of a big 34-8 win over Acton Boxborough at Acton Boxborough last week. First road win of the season for Steve Dembowski and the Wildcats, and comes on the heels of a successful three-game homestand at Brooks Field, where the Wildcats opened with a big 46-12 victory over Needham on September 5th, and the following week a win over a very feisty Central Rhode Island team, 34-26. And then a dominant win over Framingham, 42-6. I was there to call the action. Happy to do that for Milton Access. And last week on the road at Acton Boxborough with a big 34-6 win for the Wildcats. And Patrick Collins again, 2 touchdown passes to Patrick Mason, a 34 and 10 yards, and a third one of 61 yards to Michael McGee, and Isaac Remy with a 4-yard touchdown. And of course, and then there was a safety by Acton Boxborough, but Taz Chung with a 10-yard touchdown run to get it done for the Wildcats at Acton Boxborough. And for his efforts, congratulations to Patrick Collins, who was named one of the Boston Globe's Division III Players of the Week. So congratulations to that young man. He's a great captain, a great leader for this Wildcat team. And this week, the Wildcats return home to Brooks Field in a very important Bay State Herget Division game against fellow unbeaten Weymouth. The Wildcats of Weymouth will be coming to Brooks. Looks like they should be coming to Brooks Field. And yes, they are. And it's going to be an important game, like I said, because it'll give the winner some jockeying position within division, and then that'll set up an even larger opponent later in the month on Halloween, again at Brooks Field against Natick, which is ranked 5th in the Globe Top 20 poll. They're undefeated as well, Natick at 4-0. So would love for everyone to get out to Brooks Field on Friday this time. It'll be Friday at 7 o'clock against the Wildcats of Weymouth. So be loud, be proud, and get out there. And the other reason that we're all excited, Al, the Red Sox, the Wildcat winning Red Sox, up one game now in the series, the best of 3 series against the hated Yankees, with an unbelievable performance up and down. It was a true team win, Al. I thought, beginning with the performance by Garrett Crochet, with 7 2/3 strong innings in the 3-1 win, 11 strikeouts, only allowed 1 run on a homer that Volpe bumped into.
I didn't think that was a fastball. They didn't say what it was.
Yeah, well, no doubt.
The pitch was up, and he went to right field, which is the easy field at Yankee Stadium.
Right, the short porch.
I'll tell you, though, Crochet, after that, he's got the Yankees mesmerized.
Aaron Judge in particular.
Well, Judge.
He's in his head.
But a lot of key moments in the game. Yoshida pinch hit and coming up, big hit. He's been hot anyways. But then when Story the game was 2-1.
Right.
Story steals second base. Aaron Judge, Bregman comes up, makes it 3-1, which was key because the Yankees lead off with Goldsmith and then Aaron Judge. Had it been 2-1 and Goldsmith's on, Judge hits a 2-run homer, the game's over.
Yeah.
And that was a huge play. You don't realize how when a team is up 2-1, a mistake, it's tied.
It's magnified, yeah. Oh,
and especially with a kid like Aaron Judge.
Oh,
Okay?
you
so you got
can't.
to run her on.
Yeah.
And then I'll tell you, you got to give Aroldis Chapman credit because
He
the
hung.
base is loaded. I said for sure the game was tied in my head.
Oh, Al, we all did. I thought it was over.
Well, I thought it was over too, but I mean,
But the thing, Al, is that
tie.
you got to give Alex Cora credit too, because he hung in with Chapman. He
Nah, he had
believes
no
in
place to
Chapman,
go.
and well, he had Whitlock there. He could have brought him in,
no
but
place
that
to
would have, you know what? That would have upset the order of things
Right.
for the rest of the
Right.
series. But I think that it was funny the conversation that Cora said that he had with Crochet the day before when they were at the workout, and he was pretending to put a call into the bullpen. He's sitting there, and he says, tomorrow, Crochet told him, he says, you're only going to make one call. He says, when I'm out there, there's only going to be one call you're going to make, and that's the Chappie.
Well, you see, the reason why he had to stick with him, if you notice, the last two batters were what? Lefties.
Lefties. Yeah.
And he's miserable against lefties.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, so he had 1, 2, 3 after he had the base loaded.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a
It just like set,
loss.
but it seemed like it set up for him, right?
Well, it's a bit
But
debilitating.
Al, hadn't we seen that movie before with regard to the Red Sox? How they've had runners a go-ahead run or the winning run
And they don't
or a
get
tying run 90 feet away, and they couldn't get it across. So it's something that we had seen before, but
But it's not over because as
No,
I
it's
look
not.
at this thing tonight, Bello's been a roller coaster. I mean, I'd love to see them win this game and get out of
yes,
there
yes.
because if they goes to a third game, you don't have Giolotto.
yeah, that's the other big news there. Al Lucas Giolito has left off the roster because of elbow, problems that he
You
had.
don't know
He went
if
and
he'll
got
ever
in.
be back
Well,
this year.
He's not going to be back this year. I think they're shutting him down out of preponderance of caution, and I think that's because he's had elbow issues in the past, and for him to have that happen right now, I think was a little bit of alarming. But you know what? They have some arms to kind of fill the gap. Connolly early looks like he could be the third guy.
No, you're talking about.
I like the way he pitches out.
I know,
He
but-
doesn't throw the ball. He pitches.
It's the time. You're talking if it's 1-1, last game, whoever wins this game, I wouldn't want to have early in there. I just wouldn't.
Well, it's going to be a bullpen game no matter what.
Maybe.
I think it could be a bullpen game.
Yeah.
But, all arms are going to be, all hands will be on deck on that one. But, yeah, hopefully it doesn't come to that. The Red Sox, play game 2 tonight in Yankee Stadium.
I don't know how they come up with that format, though. I know because the Yankees finished first in the wild card, but
But
three
the Red
games,
Sox had beaten them
I
throughout
know.
the series.
Why all three
Right?
games are in New York? I
Right.
mean, it doesn't seem to make sense.
Well, because
to
it's
me.
such a short turnaround. They play 3 straight games. You got to
Yeah, but you're
give,
talking
you
Boston,
got to
New
allow a
York.
day for travel, and
Not
then
in New Boston, New York. You can take a flight in an hour
or
and
train.
a half.
You could take the train.
No,
Be there in 3 hours out on the
but
Sella.
still, anyways, it's
Right.
kind of strange situation. But
It is, and people here in Fenway are lamenting that because you don't get to see the Red Sox, and evidently, all the Ticketmaster had shut out anyone from New England. They were only catering to the people in the tri-state area. If you live there, you could get a ticket to the game. But
Well, I'll tell you, just on the baseball issues, I thought Boone made a mistake taking Fried out.
yes, big time.
I didn't understand the move.
Well,
Because-
he said that he was starting to lose, command.
Yeah, but he
on the strike
ended
zone.
up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys coming in.
But he also said he had been grinding it, and it was true. The Red Sox were getting a lot of traffic against them.
Yeah.
They were getting 2, 3 base runners on, and that's how the Red Sox do it. They grind
They do
you
it
down.
where they get runners on, don't score.
Right.
I mean, that's
but they
the
grind
problem.
them. They
But
were
if-
grinding out.
but-
William Abreu gets on 3 times on walks.
He almost screwed up that game. That was not his ball. That was
Oh, no,
Cedeno Raphael's
I'm thinking of
ball.
Narvaez. But yeah, you're right. Abreu on that one.
Willie Abreu, he came running over, and I mean, Cedeno Raphael's the center fielder. It's his ball, and he called it. I saw.
And he
watched
settled
it,
underneath it.
and
Yeah.
he was right there like this, and this kid comes. That
I'm
would've
sure.
been
I'm sure
huge.
they had a conversation
Yeah, they better.
with Alex Cora on that one. But to your point, some of the unsung heroes in that game, Nick Sogard, Nate Eaton, You know,
So bad at 2 hits.
Masataka Yoshida. You know, he's headed to Cooperstown if they win this.
You got to give him credit. I mean, he was out
Al,
almost the whole
do
season.
you realize that he made history with that hit, that 2 RBI single? The first person ever in Red Sox history to come in a postseason game and to turn the game from a deficit to a lead with 1 swing.
Yeah, it was
No
a
one's
big-
ever done that.
yeah, it
Not
was a
Ted
big hit.
Williams, not Carl Yastrzemski, not Jim Rice.
Oh, couldn't have been Ted. They never made it there. Jesus.
Well, I mean, it's unbelievable. So history favors the Red Sox because the team that wins the wild card, the first wild card game, usually goes on to win the series. So they're in the perfect position.
Well, Sox only had 8 hits. The Yankees had 7 hits. Fried was pitching on the corners. He's a pretty good pitcher, this kid. I mean, that was a close. I mean, anybody could have won that. That's what makes baseball
Oh,
in the playoffs so important, because pitching is the name of the game.
sure.
And
Absolutely.
he's actually a better pitcher than I thought. I
Oh,
he's
yeah.
because he changes speeds, but he throws to the outside.
Yeah.
And
No, I think it's setting up well for the Red Sox. You know, right now, I think, and if they get a good performance out of Bayo tonight, and so we'll hope for that. And Al, the other team that's all of a sudden has gotten everybody excited, the New England Patriots, Al, coming off a big 42-13 win over the Carolina Panthers. Drake May, unbelievable. 17 of 14, Al, 203 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a quarterback rating, 155.6. He spread the ball to 7 different receivers, but guess who's the top of the target list? Stephon Diggs, 6 catches for 101 yards and a long of 33. And I'll tell you, you know what, Al, I'm excited about this team. They're starting to do a lot of good things. One of them, Marcus Jones, 87-yard punt return that really turned the game.
turned the game. He turned it. He
He
was
turned
going
it.
backwards first, and then he went to the side. But you know what, though? Carolina, first of all, they're not a good team, but they came out and they marched down the field.
Yes.
I mean, so easy that it looked like it was going to be, oh my God, this is terrible. And then, you know, one thing about May, he don't throw that much, and he's okay.
I think they're effective now. They're being more. He's more efficient, I think, and he
calls a
probably
better
builds
game.
comfort.
He
He builds
calls a better
comfort
game.
with that efficiency.
But you got to give Josh McDaniels the credit here, because he's got him. I remember after the first game, if you look at what happened here, Stevenson carried the ball 9 times, had 38 or so yards, and 1 big one.
Yeah.
But having him back in the game was key.
Key.
He
You don't
also-
want him to lose confidence either.
And Henderson gained 32 yards on 7 carries.
He scored his first career
Gibson,
NFL
6
touchdown.
on 27. So if you take 38, 36, and 27, you know, he
That's
was
100
moving
yards
it,
rushing.
But he's moving it around.
And you know what that does? Creates balance, Al.
Yeah.
It creates balance.
And that's what Josh, I think, has done after the first game, is said, okay, and this could come from Vrabel, too.
Oh, yeah. He
We
wants
need to
run
do
it.
a 50-50 or a 60-40, not an 80-20 on terms of passing to
Yeah,
running.
because then you expose your quarterback, you know, to a defense who's just going to pin its ears back and come after him. Now, to your point, Al, about that first series, it was a little disconcerting to see the Panthers just roar down the field against the Patriots. But you had to understand that there are certain circumstances that the Patriots were dealing with that week with the sobering news about the diagnosis, the cancer diagnosis of Terrell Williams, a defensive coordinator who was diagnosed with prostate cancer, meaning that, you know, Vrabel and Zach Kuhr, his linebackers coach, had to step in and take over the calling of the defense. And so, you know, you knew that was going to take some time, but literally they made adjustments on the fly. And once they got things buttoned up, you know, you saw the Patriots kind of lock it down.
Well, that was a coaching dream. This is what Belichick always did. At the end of the first half, if they weren't playing well, he made the adjustments needed. They always came out in the second half and changed what was wrong. And that's what the Patriots did after the first series.
Yeah.
Of course, it helps when you're on, if you look at it, I think Carolina was on the field more than the Patriots.
They did have time of possession.
Time of possession had to be in their favor.
Yeah, it was a little
And-
bit, but especially after that first series there, where they went 7 plays, 76 yards, and possessed it for almost 4 minutes.
If you look at time of possession, Carolina was 35 minutes and the Patriots 24.
Right.
So, I mean, that will tell you, though, usually when the defense is on that long, they make mistakes.
And
They still make a lot of mistakes.
And at the
to
end, they
me,
went
though.
13 plays and 91 yards to get a touchdown.
Yeah,
Andy
well, that
Dalton was
was
in the
the
game. Andy Dalton was already in the game.
By the time I never look at stuff like that. You're
It's
up
garbage time.
42 to
Right.
whatever, 6. And the
It
team
was.
comes down, it takes 5-6 minutes to get down the field. All they're doing is eating up the clock.
Clock.
They score a big deal.
Right. Right.
You know.
And they're happy. I mean, they're so up. It was not a issue.
Now, this week with Buffalo, the interesting thing is Buffalo's got some key players that are missing,
Yeah.
but Allen could eat them up.
He could,
it's
and that's
there.
that's a game where we're going to find out about these Patriots really, because they're it's been a bit of a roller coaster. You have the performance that you had against the Raiders. They come back, they have a win down in Miami. They come back and and then they have another subpar performance at home.
It's good for them to win at home.
Win at home,
finally.
Al. And, they've won on the road in really tough environment down in Miami. Now they're going to go to a really, really tough environment in Buffalo for a Sunday night game. All eyes are going to be on them.
Is that
But all of a
Sunday
sudden, it's a Sunday night game now. And you know what? It's going to be interesting because now we're going to find out, and the Patriots are going to get to measure up against a team that's predicted to win the division, to win the conference, and me predicting that they're going to go to the Super Bowl. I'm thinking Buffalo's going to get there if they're healthy, Al. But one guy on the Patriots team that's probably going to want to show out this week, Stephon Diggs. He'll be going back to Buffalo, where he made his name for the most part, but didn't leave there under the best circumstances, and now, he's coming back. I think a guy who's got his priorities in order.
Well, I think the pluses for the Patriots, one, the offensive line has played pretty well.
Yes.
Two, on defense, they can put a lot of pressure on the quarterback, but Barrymore's their best player.
And Milton Williams has played well.
He's played well, but Barrymore is a
He's good, and you know what? Getting Christian Gonzalez back, I think is going to be huge for this team.
well, we'll see. Hopefully, I mean, they didn't go after him that much.
Yeah.
But
And
we'll
Carlton
see.
Davis too. I think they're both starting to gel a little bit back there. The safety situation is still, I think, unsettled for me a little bit. And
See-
then the tackling, Al. The tackling has to improve.
Oh, the
and
tackling,
and
definitely.
it did, I thought, for the most part, against the Panthers.
Not on the first series of downs.
It improved
didn't.
shortly thereafter.
But
yeah.
it did. Yeah, I think that the thing to watch is Rodgers, experienced, ate them up.
Yeah.
Allen, experienced. If he eats them up, then what you have is a team here that against good teams or lower can play fairly good against real good teams.
But
The
Al, I thought against Pittsburgh the Steelers were outplayed. The Patriots handed them that win.
Yeah, but
5
I'll tell you-
turnovers. You can't commit 5 turnovers.
I understand, but I'll
and
tell you one
expect-
thing,
but-
Rodgers
but
took
here-
advantage.
But here's the difference between Rodgers and Josh Allen.
Oh.
Josh Allen will eat you up. He's a
Running
dual threat.
and
He'll
passing.
run it, and
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
a big guy.
Oh, Josh Allen's a much better player.
And I
at
love
this
him.
time
I
of
mean,
his
he's
career,
a
so.
great quarterback, and we're going to watch that one through our fingers, I think, a little bit. But let's see how good Drake May is. I think it's going to be a great
It should be
catalyst.
interesting.
And
So-
the other big event, Al, that took place last weekend.
Before we get into that, I know
Yes.
what we're going to do. I did, just a couple of things on the Bruins.
Yes.
I've been watching the Bees.
Yeah.
Um,
What excites you about them right now?
well, it's hard to get excited because the last game was the only game in which Pasta and McAvoy and
And
Pavel Zacher and players like that played.
And Swayman was in net.
Swayman was led up the first goal. I thought was weak.
Careless.
I'll tell you what I think. I like what I like on this team. One is they got a snarl about them.
Yes.
They'll hit.
Yes.
They'll check. They're all over the ice. What I see though is certain guy, I don't know, Fabian Lysell didn't play last week. I think he's going to get traded. Montreal. Edmonton is looking at him. A lot of teams are looking at him because the Bruins have put him and Pavel Zacha out there.
Yeah.
Now, I think Pavel Zacha, they're going to wait until they get something big, if they do.
Right.
With Fabian Lysell, they're going to just have
Who,
to
Leon Draisaitl, do you think? They'll...
Oh, no, they never get Draisaitl. But they're a medium team. If Swayman doesn't play real well, they're in trouble.
Let me put this to you. What if the Florida Panthers come to you and say, we'll make a deal with you? They've done deals already. They got Marshy there. And if they're looking for Lysell, do you think this is an opening to bring Marchand back?
No. No.
Because they lost Barkov.
First of all, the Patriots, the Bruins wouldn't bring him back for the 6 year that Florida gave him. He's 38 years old.
Yeah.
No. I think what the Bees you got to look at here is defense. The defense has to play solid. So Hampus has to be on, and he looked pretty good.
Yeah.
McAvoy is a player. Zadorov, I'm not.
I think he's
fan,
improved a little bit.
He's okay. I don't have a problem with him. He's not your 1-2. He's probably 3-4, something in that range.
I got you there.
Peak, I'm not sure of. On the forward side, Minton, Lysell, Merkelov, they've got a lot of guys. Jeremont, Esserman. I don't know.
Tanner Janot.
They could surprise a lot of people.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're as bad as they were allowed. They'll be as bad. And I think Sturm's done a nice job with the kid because he's looking. The goaltending's going to be key because if Korpisalo and DiPietro didn't look good in his first game. He played fairly well in the next game. Korpisalo played better.
Yeah. Did he play better than Swayman?
You know what? I think Korpisalo played better than Swayman. Swayman looks. I don't know. He looks like he's easy to beat at times, and that's
what I was disconcerted by was just his carelessness with the puck around the net, Al. I mean, he's venturing outside the net, trying to play the puck when he should leave that to his defenseman.
He's a positional goaltender, though. Korpisalo is much more of an active goaltender.
But I mean, his passing in and around the passing of the puck around the net was careless.
DiPietro made some nice play in the next game.
Yeah.
But all right, to switch, and so the Bruins, I think, tomorrow night or tonight.
Wow.
I think they play tonight against the Capitals, and then they play the Rangers on Saturday.
And then the season will be upon us.
Then the season opens.
Yeah.
So, and then on the Ryder.
The Ryder Cup.
I'm embarrassed by the American.
They didn't cover themselves.
The fans, the New York fans.
I'm not embarrassed by the American side. I'm more embarrassed by the fans. But you know what? The American players, bear some responsibility for whipping up the frenzy. And you know who I'm looking at? Who I'm looking at right now? Justin Thomas, man. That guy, when he made a putt, he's going to his ear. He wants to, and at the same time, he's trying to get them to quiet down.
No.
Well, the other guys are trying to putt.
All the Europeans say the same thing. They expect when they're in Europe that the home team or the crowd is going to cheer them. They don't like when the other side, like the Americans, they don't cheer or boo the Americans in Europe. The Americans do just the opposite. They cheer the Americans and they really rake and.
Well, there was stuff that was crossing the line. In fact, someone who was there told me, someone who was there and actually heard this. Some guy stood up when Justin Thomas was getting ready to putt and yelled out, "Hey, JT, get your head out of your blank." What is that?
Well, but see now,
but you know what?
It deserves a little of this here because I know his wife she didn't get hit with a beer bottle. She got hit with beer.
She got doused with beer.
Yeah. And then he turned around and said four times he swore at the crowd.
Wrong on all levels.
At first he came to it. He was going to do something. They pulled him away.
Right.
But then as he was not the same hole, he made a putt and then he turned around and said 4 times,
Right.
boom, boom.
Right.
So he's a little to blame there. He's a fiery type of
He
kid.
is, but they got his dander up and they got inside his head,
Well, I
and
know,
you know what?
but I mean-
and that's what they were trying to do. But
And they
you know
did.
what? They had a lot of good it did them on Saturday.
Well, how about you know what? They won because they putted well.
Yes, Al. Thank you very much.
And those
And
two
you know what?
games,
The guy that couldn't be trusted to make a putt, in my estimation, was DeChambeau. Every time he stood over a putt that seemed to be makeable, I never gave it a chance,
gotta
and it
give
never
him
went
credit
in.
in
The only putt he made was the last one.
the Sunday
That
singles,
to scratch out a half
down
point.
5. I mean, he
I
came
gave him
back.
credit for fighting back
I
to
like
scratch out a
I
half
like
point.
him, and
Well,
what? I also love Scheffler,
he's
who
not
played
that
poorly.
he's not all that detestable to me, but I just couldn't trust him to make a putt.
Yeah, well,
Al,
none
he
of
seemed
them.
so rigid. He didn't seem to. You know who he reminded me? I want to say he was manos de pierda, like hands of stone, because he had no soft feel in his hands.
I know.
With a short game.
The two
And
things
so,
that I think, what's his name, the captain did wrong
Keegan Bradley.
was when he put Scheffler with Henley in the 4-ball and
Yeah.
look at he needed. Well, he played better with Chambeau, but I mean with Henley couldn't get the ball far enough. He doesn't hit the ball off the tee that well. And then Scheffler's left with 190 into the thing, and you're 20 yards away. Scheffler didn't play well either, even though I don't think he had the right matchups.
But a star was born for the American side, I think, and Cam Young.
Well, Cam Young's playing on his home. That's where he played.
It was a beautiful story, Al.
Yeah.
And then what about that clutch putt he made on the 18th with all those people from the collar, it seemed like, and to make that putt, to give the U.S. hope at that point, because
They
all
came
the
back.
those are two matches that the Americans had to have in order to have any hope of pulling it out.
Henley lost that when he missed on the 18th, that putt.
Yeah.
'Cause that would have tied.
I think
then
when
the
he
other
hit
two
it into
men-
when he hit it into the bunker.
Well, but then he only had a 7-foot putt to even the hole. He lost the hole.
But
And that was a big
and how
thing.
about the emotion of Shane Lowry standing over that putt, the nerves that he felt, and you could see quaking with emotion after he made that.
You know what?
I like that guy. I like Shane Lowry. I don't know how you feel about him, but
He's all right. He's a good player. I mean, the big thing wasn't the putt. The big thing was Henley hit his here. He came in and hit his
stuffed it close.
closer.
Yes.
Almost on the same line. Now, that putt that he hit on 18, to stand over that in Cueva, what's the deal? It was a 4.5, 5-foot putt.
Yeah.
That, for them, is a piece of cake. But his reaction in front of the American crowd
But and
He hates America.
Well, what about? Well, all right. Well,
hates the American crowd.
the crowd.
Ian Poulter said it best. He said, you know what? If you go to Europe, they adore their players and they like the Americans.
Well, that's what
Just
Rory
the
said too.
opposite
That's what Rory
here.
said. Yeah.
They especially
jeer
New
the
York
Europeans,
crowds.
and, yeah.
They kill them. And Poulter said if one more time he hears on a par 5 tee, when the guy's teeing up on a par 5, which is 600 yards away, in the hole,
Oh. Yeah.
I mean-
that's stupid. That's stupid.
it's a sin that Americans can't act better. You know what it is? They drink. They're all drinking.
Yeah. You hit it right on
You
the head.
can't stop them. from
Right on the
drinking,
head, Al.
but-
That's the vice that no one will give
Yeah,
up. But
anyways.
at any rate, it was great theater, great drama, and it turned out well for the Europeans and not so well for the Americans. But I was riveted, and I think everyone else was too. But we're all riveted by the Red Sox, by the Patriots, and by your Milton Wildcats, who will be at Brooks Field on Friday at 7 o'clock against the Weymouth Wildcats. So be there, be loud. Thank you, everybody. Love having you here on Stepping Up to the Plate. We'll see you next time. All right, bye-bye.